Hello, my dear students, and welcome back to Master Business English. I'm Karime, your Master Business English coach. Today's lesson, we're going to talk about how to use the past simple like a pro in business English. But it's going to be the part two. Last lesson, we learned the most important issues for past simple. So let's get this party started. Let's go to check some of the mistakes, the most important mistakes our students make, but also in general. Okay, so he admitted his mistake. He admitted is wrong because here you can see it is with one T, and we have to write it with double T. But Karima, it's a very simple and little mistake. It's not so important. Well, it is specifically because you should use it very well when you needed to write an email for work for to your customers, or for example when you should create a PowerPoint or a presentation. Okay, so yes, it is important. So let's try to avoid spelling mistakes. Good. Then the other mistake is worked he in France? Worked he in France? Worked he in France is also a mistake. You should use the correct structure in a question. So it should be auxiliary, subject, verb, and a complement. In this case, did he work in France? And this is something that you should always keep in mind. Just to forget, don't forget to use the structures. Next mistake, he didn't reply the letter. He didn't reply the letter. No, you should say he didn't reply a letter or he didn't reply the letter. In this case, you should use the infinitive reply and not replied. Why? Because you have here the auxiliary didn't. Next one, they didn't prefer to work in New York. They didn't prefer to work in New York. It's also wrong because you should use the verb in infinitive, prefer and not preferred. Why? Because here you're using the auxiliary to. More mistakes. The store sold products 2 years ago. The store sold products 2 years ago. That's also wrong. Why? Because you should use sold. This verb is irregular, so the past tense of sell is not sold but sold. Next mistake, why did he pay it in cash? Why did he pay it in cash? That is also wrong because the verb should go in infinitive. So you should say, why did he pay in cash? Why did he pay in cash? Other typical mistake people make or students make is she not have business experience. She not have business experience. It's wrong. You should use the auxiliary for negative questions or also, sorry, for negative sentences. In this case, she did not have business experience. Don't forget the auxiliary. The auxiliary works in specifically in questions and negatives sentences. Okay? Keep this in mind. However, we're going to see these things in a couple of minutes. The other one, the body shop became an international success. The body shop became is also wrong because become is an irregular verb. So here the past tense is became. Became. The body shop became an international success. Became. And you can tell me, or you can think, what a headache. I made some or all those mistakes and I do not know how to avoid them. But do not worry, it is very simple, and today I'm going to teach you some tricks so then you can put them into practice and learn and avoid making those mistakes. So, therefore, Let's review to remember when to use the past simple. Here you have the timeline, the past, the present, and the future. And as you can see, the past simple action is located in the past before the present. Here, the action or activity happened before now, happened before the present. So every time you want to talk about a past action, okay, or an action and you locate that action in the past before now, you should use the past simple. Hmm? Do you understand? Do you get it? Very good. You got it. Let's go to see three conditions. But Karima, I see four. Well, yes, because the number four, it's a consequence, okay, of the previous three. Let's go to see. The past simple indicates an action or an activity that started in the past, ended or finished in the past, at a particular moment or time in the past. And as a consequence of that, okay, is for complete actions or activities. You should just remember these things. So again, the action should start in the past, and in the past, happen in a particular moment or time in the past, and it is for completed actions or activities. So we use the past simple for complete finished actions. Okay? Don't forget these little or small conditions. Started, finish at a particular moment, and for completed actions or activities. Okay? Great. Some examples. She lost the opportunity to become a manager in that company. She lost the opportunity to become a manager in that company. Yes, lost. It is an action that started, finished at a specific moment in the past. It is a completed action, lost, because she doesn't have any other opportunity in that company. Next one. A week later, a recruiter called me and we set up a phone interview. A week later, in the past, both actions started, finished at a particular moment, okay, before the interview happened, okay, and it is a completed, both are completed actions, finished actions. Next one. He quit his job and a month later started up his new business. Of course, both actions completely finished in the past, started, ended at a particular moment, and are finished actions. The last example, the receptionist met them in the lobby and led them to the conference room. Both actions, met and led, started, ended at a particular moment in the past, and are finished actions. Okay? So as you can see in all these examples, I have used, I have used the conditions, the uses of a past simple, and they match. Well, we're going to talk about the auxiliary verb did. As you know, did is a verb, but also it can be an auxiliary verb. So as an auxiliary verb, it is the auxiliary verb of the past simple tense. Okay? So don't forget that did has two functions. The first one, it is a verb, and the second one, it is an auxiliary of the past simple tense. Let's go to see how it works. Just warning, okay? Remember, something important about the auxiliary verb. Did as an auxiliary verb, did as an auxiliary verb, not like a verb, like a simple verb, no, like an auxiliary verb. When you use the auxiliary verb of the past simple tense did, the verb next to it goes in infinitive. So did plus verb in infinitive. This is a very important trick to remember. Okay? So keep it in mind. Did, when you use the auxiliary did, the verb goes in infinitive. And it is like that. So just keep this in mind. Let's go to see how it works in questions. We have the question form. We should always remember the question form for all the questions in general, not only for past simple, but in general. So we have the auxiliary, then the subject, and then the verb. Auxiliary, subject, and verb. Did, the subject, I, you, we, she, etc. And then the verb here, walk, go, come, drive, read. But also after we can have also a complement. And of course to close the question mark. So again, okay, did, the auxiliary, the subject, the verb, and the complement and the question mark. I see some questions here, and yes, I would like to explain something. A very good question. I have it. Okay, yes. What about the WH? For example, WH are what, which, how long, where, when. Those are WH. And when we want to use them in a question, its position is at the beginning. So in this case, we will have WH plus auxiliary, then the subject, then the verb, and then the complement and the close question mark. Okay? Good. So I will repeat it again. WH auxiliary, subject, verb, complement, and the question mark. So it will go at the beginning. Okay? Good. So just don't forget this structure because it works for all the type or sort of questions. Great. Let's continue. Let's go to see some examples. We lost the opportunity. We lost the opportunity. Into a question, did we lose the opportunity? Did we lose the opportunity? Here we have did the auxiliary, we, the subject, lose the verb, and opportunity, the complement, and the question mark. But if we want to make, for example, a question using a WH, we can say, for example, why did we lose the opportunity? So, for example, WH, why will appear at the beginning. Why did we lose the opportunity? Why did we lose the opportunity? Here we have the WH, why, did the auxiliary, we the subject, lose the infinitive verb, and the opportunity the complement. Let's see other examples. She took advantage of it. She took advantage of it. Let's transform it into a question. Did she take advantage of it? So we have did, the auxiliary, take, the verb took in the sentence, and we need to transform it into infinitive. Okay, so we must use the infinitive verb here because we are using the auxiliary of the past simple tense, and in this case is did. So we have, did she take an advantage of it? Did she take an advantage of it? Auxiliary did, subject she, take advantage of, take the verb in infinitive, advantage of, and the complement it, and then we close the question mark. Let's see some examples. Some more than examples, let's go with exercises. Transform this next into a question. They entered in the Indian market last year. They entered in the Indian market last year. They entered in the Indian market last year. Let's see some of your answers. Yes, very good. I see that some of you, great. Some little mistakes, but do not worry. I'm going to give it to you the answer. Let's see the answer. Did they enter in the Indian market last year? Did they enter in the Indian market last year? That's the correct question. Did the auxiliary, the verb goes in infinitive, Indian. Okay? Good. Great. Enter. Enter is the verb in infinitive. Did they enter in the Indian market last year? Other exercise? The company started to spend a lot in R&D. The company started to spend a lot in R&D. Let's see. Started. Let's see here because I'm checking. Okay, what exactly are the research and development? Research and development, okay? That is the meaning of R&D, R&D, research and development, development. Very good. So the question or the answer is, did the company start to spend a lot in R&D? Did the company start? Did the auxiliary of the question start? In this case, is the verb that goes in infinitive. More. The the HR manager invited Mark to the party. The HR manager invited Mark to the party. Just in case HR means human resources manager. Human resources manager invited, the human resources manager invited Mark to the party. How is it into a question? Transform it, please. Very well done. I see that some of you got how to do it. Great. Let's see. So in this case is, did the human resources manager invite Mark to the party? Did the human resources manager invite Mark to the party? Trick, please. Here it's our warning, a trick. Every time you have the auxiliary did, okay, the verb goes in infinitive. The verb goes in infinitive because you have the auxiliary did. Okay, so if you remember this little trick, you're going to make your questions and sentences or negatives very, very well in English. So then writing or speaking will be very simple for all of you. Negative, a negative form in past simple. Here we have the subject, the auxiliary negative, in this case is didn't or did not, and then the verb and the complement. So we always start with the subject, then the auxiliary in negative, in this case is did not or didn't, and then the verb and the complement. And this is the structure or the word formation for every negative sentence you want to make in whatever tense. So just remember the formation, okay? The form, subject, the auxiliary in negative, the verb, and the complement. Let's see some examples. We lost the opportunity. We lost the opportunity. Here, we want to transform it into negative. We didn't lose the opportunity. And why lose? Because it's the verb in infinitive. When we have the auxiliary, the verb goes in infinitive. Here, the auxiliary is didn't, but in negative. So the subject, the auxiliary not, the auxiliary negative not, the verb in infinitive, and then the complement. Other example, she took advantage of it. She took advantage of it. She didn't take advantage of it. Didn't is the auxiliary negative for the negative sentence. The verb take advantage of it. So subject, she didn't, auxiliary negative, take the verb in infinitive, and the complement it. So exercise, because it is your turn. Transform it into negative. She got up early in the morning. She got up early in the morning. She got up early in the morning. How is it? Very well. Some little mistakes, but some of you, most of you, very good. Okay, it is easy. So the answer, she didn't get up early in the morning. Didn't is the auxiliary negative. Get up, get the verb in infinitive. Remember, we use the verb in infinitive next to the auxiliary. Okay, in this case, didn't get up. She didn't get up early in the morning. More. I really enjoyed myself when I was a teenager. I really enjoyed myself when I was a teenager. Transform it. Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. Let's go to C. I didn't enjoy myself when I was a teenager. In this case, I didn't enjoy myself when I was a teenager. Didn't is the auxiliary. Enjoy is the verb. Myself when I was a teenager. In this case, the verb was. It's the verb to be in past simple. But here we don't put or use that verb in infinitive because here we have two different clauses. I didn't enjoy myself is one little short structure into a main sentence, and I was a teenager is another little structure, okay, the second structure in the main sentence. So we have two subjects, the verbs or the auxiliary and the verb and the complement. For that reason, in the second part, when I was a teenager, we do not put that verb to be in infinitive, okay? Next one, he taught history at the university. He taught history at the university. Transform it into a negative. Mhm. Good, very good. Mm-hmm. Good, very good. Let's go to see the answer. He didn't teach history at the university. He didn't teach history at the university. Didn't the auxiliary teach the verb and the verb goes in infinitive. Now it's your turn. Please write your comments or write your answers in the chat box or on the comments, okay? Great, thank you. Right or wrong? If it is wrong, I would recommend you to write the correct answer in the chat box or on your comments, okay? So our company not started this business in 1985. Our company not started this business in 1985. Is it right or is it wrong? Let's see your comment. Mhm. Mhm. I see. I see. Good. So let's see the answer. It's wrong. Why is it wrong? Because we say our company didn't start this business in 1985. Didn't start. Remember that we should use the auxiliary negative did not, didn't, and the verb should go in infinitive. Must go, should say. Must go. Next one. Did the postman come in, gave us the documents and left? Did the postman come in, gave us the document and left? Your answers? Hmm. Oh, yes, I would like to explain that in the United States, people use mailman, mailman, but I just use postman because it is more international, or I should say that it is very wide used in England. Okay, so postman. For that reason, I wrote here postman instead of mailman. But mailman is a typical word people use in the United States in order to talk about the postman. Okay, so both of them are synonyms. Let's see. Of course, if the answer is right, if the answer is right, just say it right, or as most of you did, a thumb up or an emoticon. Okay, let's see. So here it's wrong, and why is it wrong? Because we should say, did the postman come in, give us the documents and leave? Because we have this auxiliary in question, and the rest of the verbs, they should go in infinitive. Come, give, and leave. And just or okay, I will explain this. Before I explain it to you, that when we have two clauses in a main sentence, two subjects, two auxiliaries, two verbs, and two complements, we should use structures for each one. In this case, there is just one sentence with one subject, the postman, and several actions. For that reason, we use the auxiliary did, and the rest of the verbs in sequence, they must go in infinitive. Okay? Great. Next. We not received your order yesterday. We not received your order yesterday. Right or wrong? Let's see. It's wrong, but I would like to know why is it wrong, or what is the correct answer according to you? Mm-hmm. Okay, I see. Very good, most of you. Let's see the answer. We didn't receive your order yesterday. We didn't receive your order yesterday because we should use the auxiliary negative didn't in the past tense and the verb in infinitive. Very good. Next one. He sent you the letter 2 weeks ago. He sent you the letters 2 weeks ago. He sent you the letters 2 weeks ago. Is it right or wrong? Let's see. Be careful here. Be careful here. Very good. Here you have, it is wrong because because you should use the structure. Did he send you the letter 2 weeks ago? Did he send? So the auxiliary in a question, we have to use first the auxiliary in past, in this case, then the subject he, and then the verb in infinitive. Did he send you the letter 2 weeks ago? Let's check the next one. Did they order the goods 2 months ago? Did they ordered the goods 2 months ago? Right or wrong? Great. I see you're learning. You're getting how to do it. Very good. Let's check it. Let's check it. It is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because we must use the verb in infinitive when we have the auxiliary did. Did they order the goods 2 months ago? Did they order the goods 2 months ago? Hmm? Okay, did the auxiliary, the verb goes in infinitive. Very good. Let's go to see other one. Did Jelka meet some customers on the trade fair on Thursday? Did Jelka meet some customers on the trade fair on Thursday? Right or wrong? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excellent job. It is right because we have followed the structure auxiliary subject verb complement, the auxiliary did, and we have used also the verb in infinitive. So in infinitive. So that question was right. More. Mr. Chapman not came into the office, check his mailbox, and not go straight to the briefing? Is it right or wrong? Pay attention. Mr. Chapman not came into the office, check his mailbox, and not go straight to the briefing? Hmm. Be careful here. It is not so simple as it seems to be. Think before think. It is important to think. Mhm. So let's see. Mr. Chapman not came into the office, check his mailbox, and not go straight to the briefing. It's wrong. Because the correct answer is Mr. Chapman didn't come into the office, check his mailbox, and go straight to the briefing. In this case, we have one sentence, one subject, okay, several verbs, but it's one sentence. So we use the negative auxiliary, in this case, didn't, and the next of the verbs go in infinitive. Mr. Chapman didn't come to the office, check his mailbox, and go straight to the briefing. So didn't, the auxiliary negative, but we have come, check, and go in infinitive too. That was tricky, right? I know. And the next one. Amanda traveled to the meeting by train. Amanda traveled to the meeting by train. Right or wrong? Mm-hmm. Very good. Let's see. Wrong. Why is it wrong? Because we should use the auxiliary in questions. Don't forget the auxiliary when you need to make questions. So did Amanda, and then the verb travel, did Amanda travel to the meeting by train? Auxiliary, subject, verb, and complement the question mark. Don't forget the auxiliary. So then, other one. Levi Strauss and Company manufactured the first blue jeans. Levi Strauss and Company manufactured the first blue jeans. Right or wrong? I'll help you. It's wrong. Why is it wrong? Let's see your answers. Hmm. Exactly. Very well. You're doing a very good job. You're getting how to do it. When you practice this, because most of you want to just to speak and said, Karime, I would like to speak properly, to speak fluent. This the if you learn these tricks that we are learning and I'm teaching you in these sessions, okay, just speak will be simple, simple, very simple. And you're going to start speaking soon too, and properly too. So the people will understand you, will feel comfortable speaking to you, talking to you more than speaking, talking to you. You know, you will have a very fluent communication. So let's see. Why is it wrong? Because manufactured. Don't forget the verb in past tense. In past tense, because the action is completely finished in the past. So the answer is Levi Strauss and Company manufactured the first blue jeans. Manufactured, completely finished action in the past. Did Richard Branson decide to start an airline company? Did Richard Branson decide to start an airline company? Right or wrong? Did Richard Branson decide to start an airline company? Let's see. It is right, because we have used the structure auxiliary subject verb complement. We use did, the auxiliary in past simple, the subject, and the verb in infinitive. So that was right. Excellent job. Very good. I'm very happy because I've seen you really have learned. If you want to learn with us, just tell us about whatever issue, the topic, grammar, vocabulary, phrasal verbs, whatever you want to learn. And of course, if you have a question, ask, okay? And we will teach you or explain it to you how to use it, or in which cases you should use, I don't know, for example, some tenses or others, okay, in a very simple way so you can just understand and follow the lesson in a very simple way, but specifically you will learn. So come and learn with us next Wednesday at 1700 or 5 p.m. So we are going to teach you other topics very useful in order to be able to help you speaking, writing, or learning English. And thank you so much. Thank you very much for today. Hope you like it. Please leave us some comments and specifically like and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.